Original vs Definitive, a series where I look at both versions of GTA San Andreas and see which one is better. Today we'll compare the mission called Cleaning the Hood, in which you talk to your homies, drive with Ryder to an apartment, see poor Big Bear taken advantage of, walk with Ryder to a dealer, waste said dealer, drive to a crack den, waste the ball of fools in there, and drive with Ryder back to Grove Street. We'll compare tasks, execution, speedrun tactics and gameplay. Both games are completely vanilla, played on PC. I'm your host, BadInfos. Leave a like and subscribe for more of the same. Now let's see how this mission compares between both versions. Alright, first of all, what has happened to Sweet's house? In the original it looks okay, nothing luxurious, but the man cleans up and his appliances look decent. In the definitive edition though, it looks like a dump. His fridge is on his last legs since it's all rusty, and oh man, don't get me started on the stove. That's nothing like in the original. I'm willing to bet that it doesn't even work. How embarrassing must it be for him to invite his homies over when his place looks like a dump? Also, apparently before CJ entered they were throwing water balloons at Ryder, and now he's all wet in the definitive edition. He doesn't have that problem in the original. Lastly, for the opening cutscene, and this will be very embarrassing, but the window has proper ray tracing like lighting. Do you see the sun rays? Yes you do, in the original. Do you see them in the remastered definitive edition? Of course you don't. That's just bad, a really bad look on the remaster. In the next cutscene in the original, there are no lights in sight. It looks bright, but the light is not coming from anywhere. That was fixed in the definitive edition because they added a light on the ceiling. Numerous times you'll see Ryder's eyes in this cutscene. What's weird is, first of all, that we have never seen them before in the original, and that his eyes are static. They never move and look straight, making him look like a demon or something. The light in the apartment is not on in the original, but is on in the definitive, making it look more realistic. Not only that, but there's now a light switch in the definitive. Oh! Is that why the light is not on here? It's because there's no light switch, I get it. Looking back while walking forward in the original is no problem. You can keep an eye on Ryder this way. In the definitive, however, it's tedious because the camera does not listen to you, since it always tries to look in different directions. The proportion of CJ is really off in this cutscene. It looks like he's really trying to show off his pecs to us or something. In the original, CJ does not have this problem. As for the fighting, in the definitive edition there's no way to know how much health a person has. You can highlight them, which, okay, how is this even remotely useful, but you have no idea how close somebody is to dying. In the original there are bars above people's heads, so you don't have this problem again. Nothing else to point out here apart from how this guy holds a floating cigarette in the definitive edition, but whatever, let's move on to the speedrun section. When speedrunning, you usually sprint from the apartment to the crack dealer. Unfortunately, in the definitive edition, you get tired if you don't have enough stamina, since you can tap the sprint button to preserve it. Other than that, everything else works the same. The dealer and the ball of fools can be wasted with a gun. There's however a honking mechanic in the original where if you honk at an officer, he'll not be able to bust you and he'll just wave his hand. I'm very happy to say that this is still possible in the definitive edition. Overall, I'm not a fan of the definitive edition's version of this mission. Everything looks weird and plays a little bit worse, so Yeah, the original takes the point in this one. Good job, original. This concludes today's analysis on cleaning the hood. Did I miss anything? Do you disagree with me? Or let me know in the comment section. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and a very special thank you to my top channel members and patrons: Monish Pradeep, Alex Chavez, Max Robinson, LMP Racing, House the Chowder, Max Rich, Smokio, and everybody else on the screen. Become a supporter today.